This might be like a really strange thing to do, and I just recorded a 15-minute video, and I asked for permission to record this today in the hospital, and they said I could as long as I don't get anything confidential in it. But unfortunately it's picked up absolutely everything that's been talked about outside this room, and I decided that would break confidentiality. So the good thing about, well, the bad thing about this now is that there was a very raw expression of emotion in the video that I recorded, and a healing process and a cleansing process of release, and now I kind of look like I'm alright. But I'm in hospital. I'm on my 4th pregnancy in lockdown. This is my 2nd managed miscarriage removal in the lockdown period. It's my 9th pregnancy in total. In my lifetime I've got 1 child, and it's my 7th pregnancy with my current partner. So I did kind of feel that this pregnancy, if I lost it, it's going to take its toll, and it has. But I've chosen to record it today in hospital because I'm having a different procedure than the other 2 times. I've had 3 managed procedures in hospitals since 2016. The first one was a D&C, and like I said, these last 2 have been within lockdown. The other pregnancies that I've had, one was at home where I passed it before 6 weeks, so I didn't get any support with that. It was natural, and I got support, over the phone, but I didn't need to come into hospital. And then the others have been biochemicals, meaning you lose them around your period or within like 3 weeks usually of having a positive test. So it doesn't take away the fact that I've been pregnant and lost those pregnancies. Why I'm recording this, as I always record, is to share my experiences and knowledge for other people. It's a very healing process for me to document what I go through on my blog. I'm on my own today. I've chosen to be on my own for this procedure. It's probably the worst time to be on my own because I didn't realise that I would be actually passing the pregnancy, hopefully, like late in a whole, I don't know yet, it's not happened, but I've read up on it, and I think it comes out hopefully as a whole thing in its sac, like a clot. But whereas the other procedures, the last one was an MVA, it was done under general anaesthetic, it's over and done with in about 15 minutes. Obviously the emotional impact and the physical afterwards is ongoing, but that was, very an okay procedure to go through actually. But I decided this time, because it wasn't on offer till Friday, that it was better that I got in the next day. Reasons for that is because I don't want to carry this pregnancy that's no longer there for more days than I need to, and I don't want to take it home and suffer in front of my child. So I'm having a medical management on the ward where they put medication inside your area, and I'm waiting now. They've just come in and took my order for tea, and that's worried me a bit, but apparently for women it can be 3 hours a day overnight. The worst case scenario is being rushed into theatre, but that's rare. So the pregnancy was a good pregnancy to begin. I had a heartbeat. I went to 2 scans, both heartbeats, but it seems that the pregnancy stopped growing just after my last scan, and because I've been taking progesterone, my uterus is quite strong in keeping the pregnancy, but I do suffer with miscarriages before I was introduced to progesterone. So I don't actually know I'm having a miscarriage. I don't know I've miscarried. But I've always known deep down as an instinct that I've lost the pregnancy. But until you see that scan and get that confirmation, it doesn't hit you. And yesterday, unfortunately, for the other mothers who were all in the proper antenatal, is it, where they do the scans, etc., with the bumps. I've been down that road before where I've had to sit amongst them with my first loss to have the scan to check. I was going for a viability scan, and which I didn't know they did. I've never had that before. I've always been under the early pregnancy unit and had regular scans every 2 weeks, but this was downstairs. Sorry, if you're at Burnley, it's a different area and you're with all the people, and basically I wailed and wailed when I got the news yesterday, because I knew that this would probably take its toll on me. So I'm alright now. I wasn't alright before. I wasn't alright yesterday. Then I'm alright, and then I'm not. Very up and down with my emotions and feelings. I think because I've been through this so many times that I'm learning to deal with this loss, but also at the same time I'm healing and cleansing in a completely different way. So I've had to record it in the bathroom basically, so you can't hear any of the conversations outside. I'm documenting it as it goes along, because I need something to do, if I'm honest. And I've always enjoyed helping other people. Don't want anyone to feel sorry for me or anything like that. I just, yeah. So I've got to go and lie down now anyway, so there we go. So I've just passed the first bit of clot and my bowels are really loose. So it's starting. It's really quite bizarre, isn't it, flushing a toilet when everything's in the bedpan. You know, you find these moments when you're feeling completely, utterly shattered and destroyed inside, of finding something that makes you chuckle, I suppose. Well, it's 3:45 and I honestly thought I'd be home by now. I'm not so sure this was the right decision to make today. Everyone's different though, so don't let me put you off. Nothing's happening much, but I've been doing a lot of healing and cleansing and writing poetry, listening to music, and you know what, just to have a day laid down has been wonderful in a sense. How bad's that? Just not doing much really. Anyway, we'll see what happens. They took my tea order and then changed it. I was really looking forward to it till I started feeling sick, and now I'm on anti-sickness tablets, so we'll see. Well, still nothing. I've got the absolute munchies now after feeling really sick. I've had some anti-sickness tablets, and then all of a sudden I just got mega hungry, like, you know, like I felt like I was drugged before, I'll be honest. And I was a bit paranoid. Actually, I was a lot paranoid, to be honest. I've just sent a video to someone to say my goodbyes, just in case I end up with a general anaesthetic. And I'm bloody starving now. So, there's nothing happening. I'm just completely the wrong decision today, this. But everything has a purpose and a reason. And I've spent all day writing and poetry and listening to music, something I haven't done for ages. So, purpose in that, isn't there? There's a bonus. You must be wondering, you must be thinking there's nothing wrong with this girl. But through trauma, you've always got to find some things that give you some light in your life. So, when I go through these ups and downs, you know, anyway, those that judge need to be judged. Right, so the bonus is that I just got my tea and I get sticky toffee pudding for dessert. So that's not so bad, is it? I've never had that before. I've had sandwiches, but not a proper meal. Nearly 5:30. I had my tea in the space of 5 minutes. I stuffed it down because I was that hungry. Probably going to throw it all back up in a bit. Things aren't going to plan. When that first episode came with the clot, I got, you know, I don't want to say my hopes up, obviously, because the last thing I want to do is let go of this pregnancy, but it seems that I'm not letting go of it anyway. So, all the jokes, you know, the bedpan things, just like going to toilet, really, you know. So I've just taken 2 more tablets. So I've had internal and 2 lots of tablets. I'm expecting to go on a trip at some point because it sort of made me go a bit doolally before, I'll be honest. A bit strange. I've had them before. I've had them for the MVA, but I just seem to be reacting differently today. Just shows, doesn't it, that we react all differently to chemistry. And I have been posting on my blog today, bubbaby.co.uk. Obviously, if you're watching this, you're probably watching my blog. Watching it on my blog. So they've told me to make provisions for being here all night. They can't say for sure if I'm going to be here all night, but they're saying make the provision, which is going to be very, very strange if I am here all night, because I've never had one night apart from my child and my bed share. So throw darts at me or whatever, but I'm a gentle parent who goes off old instincts. So we bed share, and because of that, yeah, we have a bit of a different, stronger attachment, I suppose. That can be an issue, not going to deny that, but at the point is that that's what it is. And now I'm a bit worried that I'm only worried that my child is going to, Mummy needs to go to hospital, which was a stupid mistake. What's wrong, Mummy? Are you poorly? And I said, no, I'm having an eye test, you'll see me later. And because that's the trauma, not stopping together, because, you know, we'll manage that, but the trauma is if Mum is not here, and that's more damaging. And when the expectation. So I'm just a bit worried about that side of things, but it's nothing I can change. They've talked about an MVA tomorrow morning, which is like why I'm doing this today. It's not to have that, really. But you never know, you know, things can change. All of a sudden, there is a little bit of passing, but nothing extraordinary. That's why I've got the tablets. So we'll see what happens next. I may get home tonight, but I did say I'm here because I didn't want to take it home. Been told to walk round. Had my bloody feet up all day because I felt so ill when I stood up. Not like I'm going to pass out. Anyway, it can hinder it, so should have brought my pedometer. Could have done about 10,000 steps. I have no idea what time it is. I'm still here. They don't come in with a supper menu. They're very good though. But I just wanted to just mention this. Today when I signed all the paperwork, it was quite clear that I couldn't take my pregnancy home with me. But I took my placenta home with me and it was buried in private land. So I asked the question, because when I looked at the forms earlier, it's obviously some of it's tested, the tissue's tested, and I thought, well, it said you don't get to have a private burial under so many weeks. At the hospital it all goes together, and I've never asked the question before. Obviously the MVA was a bowl of soup. Sorry to put it like that, but that's what it is. But I suppose potentially I still could have took that home too. But this is going to hopefully come out in a full form, and the clots around it can be tested. So I just wanted to let you know that you should always ask the question about that, because why not? Honestly, I spent all day looking out the window at what I think is Pendle Hill. You'll notice some video footage of it. And I thought, I've been asked to watch this now at night. And then I looked round and it's gone, it's dark. So, 20 to 9, things aren't going to plan. I've now exceeded my dose of medication to get things going, but they're happy for me to have an extra dose, and if nothing happens through the night, I will be first thing having the MVA, which I should have opted for in the first place. So there's a lot of symbolism behind this day though. I'm very spiritual and it's all for a reason. The first time in 3 years. Luckily she's been well cared for, and I just have to get through tonight and get home. There's not a lot else to say really. I'm feeling alright in myself on the whole. Wish I'd have brought my toothbrush and extra knickers. Maybe some bath gel or something. Well, shower gel, don't know. Feel like I stink. I've had a weird day. This video is probably going to be really boring. Might not be for those that are going to be looking on it and wondering what this is all about. Sorry, I've got not a lot to tell you really. All that's happened is the start of the pregnancy is, you know, it has started. I feel like when you're coming in for labour, you bring your goodie bag and all your shit that you think you need for your first pregnancy usually. Second is probably a lot different. And then all that shit that I bought for the first pregnancy that I never touched because I couldn't eat. Kind of wishing that I'd packed my bag for that now and that I could eat it all now. I don't think there's supper. Run out of chocolate. Got 2 boring tangerines left and a pack of chewing gum. So, messed up there, haven't I? Going to do Fraggle Rock and eat my fingers. Anyway, that's it. God, I've got this like amazing salad. And a cheese butty. I said don't be taking it off anyone else, staff or anything, but they said no, it's right. Bloody good, innit? The funniest thing is there's no knife and fork. I might come out being an expert in spring onion chopsticks. I swear these drugs make you bloody go do lolly. So calm before the storm this, you know. Look at that. She treats you so well. Honestly. I've had my supper. It was grand. It's 9:30. I'm having my next dose of tablets. I'm not expecting to have the best night, I'll be honest. I've found a bit of humour, at least, in some of my experiences today. You haven't actually seen the rawness of me that was real with that first video. And I just don't feel comfortable because even though I'm sure confidential information wasn't being shared outside, you can hear their voices quite strongly, and I just feel that that's disrespectful to the nurses. So although you might be able to hear odd voices in the background, it's nothing that's recognisable to me on listening back. So anyone who's watched this, I'm going to presume you've watched it because you are either interested, or you may be going through this yourself, or you are a partner or a friend of someone who may be going through this. I'm sorry, there's not been anything to tell yet. I'm going to finish this video now, I'm going to upload it, and then I'll probably do a separate video for whatever comes next, because obviously we're hoping that something does happen. I've done a lot of healing, a lot of crying since yesterday, and I think that we all have different ways of dealing with things, and sometimes mine can come out at a later date. But like I said, I've done things today that I haven't done for years. Poetry, writing, and it's the first day in 3 years that I've had completely to myself and night, which is really odd. I know you're probably thinking that's odd, coming in for a miscarriage and sort of embracing time off, and I think I needed it, to be honest. And I am taking stock of my life and looking at it and making some quite big decisions from this. So right, time to go. Night night, and I'll just update through the night as I need to now. So yeah, thank you for listening if you're listening.